Howdy, all you delicious people. I just wanted to do a quick video because recently, at the end of my day of recording, talking about movies today, doing a couple of mobile games, kind of get that out of the way. But I just wanted to say thank you for everybody that is on the channel currently. We are currently at 580 subscriptions right now at the end of the day. I just want to say thanks for everybody that's been commenting lately. There's been some comments where I don't know. It's just kind of either just like, okay, I don't know I don't know how exactly to respond to said comment. There's some stuff where it's just kind of like blah, 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 blah of this, and I'm like, okay, I don't understand what this means, or I just don't understand like, what is the point of commenting to commenting this? Um, because how could I respond? But ultimately, at the end of the day, I just want to say thank you to anyone, anyways, because ultimately, if it's um, a positive, negative comment, whatever, it's still a comment, anyways. But ultimately, thank you guys for responding, for putting in your 2 cents, or just kind of congratulating on the channel and whatever it accomplishes. Because, yeah, a lot of the times it's great to finally see us getting somewhere on the channel, making some real, true, legitimate progress. To the second it's recording, and I'll say it now just because it seems like it's like, okay, well, it doesn't seem like the numbers are changing consistently or whatever. 580 subscriptions to the second it's recording. It seems like I've been doing these kind of milestone-ish like videos on a daily basis, but ultimately when I think about it, it's just like, well, I do it because it matters. It matters that this channel progresses, but it matters to the fact of just like, well, like there's more people on the channel who are gonna sift through some things that I've done, and maybe not all of them are the greatest things on planet Earth, but they're still there for you to see. Hopefully, you'll enjoy any of them. But ultimately, yeah, it's just I'm kind of at the end of my recording day. I have headphones on me, so that's kind of like soon as this video's over, calling a wrap, uploading videos. So yeah, reasonably, yeah, I've kind of really a lot lately, kind of felt more comfortable on the channel, to where I can just kind of bring any random movie or random game or random something to the channel, and people might enjoy it. There might be an audience found somewhere for doing some of this stuff. So ultimately, I just kind of don't. There's sometimes where I just don't uh, really think exactly all the way through what I'm going to do for the day. Like Maggie, like really, the movie that I just saw, Maggie, was just one of those where it's like, okay, hey, I'm gonna upload a video, and while I'm doing that, how about I watch a movie? And Maggie just so happened to be one of those. So yeah, yeah, not a whole lot of thought being put into this stuff, but at the end of the day, maybe there's interest there for any of the number of projects that I do. Maybe surprising to know that there might be some things that go through that I didn't really think was going to be important, and they were to somebody, or this and this and that. But anyways, as far as upcoming projects on the channel, I hope to eventually get more Marvel Strike Force videos coming out, because it seems like there's a lot of events or there's a lot of things going heavily on that effing game, to where it's just kind of like, good God, like, man, you get people complaining about that there isn't enough new content on that game, and then good God, they like slather the game with so much new content that like people are just like, oh my God, this is too much new content. There's too much going on. But then everybody has their ebb and bev of flow about that game, because ultimately some people can quickly get through a lot of things based on where they are in that game and whatever what have you. Um, blah 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 blah. Anyways, so yeah, I've kind of speak like taken every waking moment and really kind of chew through a little bit of that game some more. But ultimately, like where everybody's coming from is just where everybody's coming from. It just seems like I think Dates Inferno was just this thing that I didn't think was gonna go as well as it did, and like I just started playing the game, not thinking about it, and ultimately, it was just getting to the point of like okay, as soon as I did this video, these two videos, like the developers reached out to me, and then like the community of this, what eventually this game would come to, like everybody started to reach out to me, and I was like, where is this all coming from? I'm like, dude, I'm just putting out a game. I'm not even thinking about it, and all of a sudden there's this like community of people that are all just talking about the game or this and that, or asking me questions and this and that, and which is great. Um, I'm just trying to figure out like where this all was coming from, and trying to figure out like what is all like it kind of all like um hit me pretty hard, and then ultimately it's still like coming at me in waves and stuff like that. So yeah, which is great, which is great. uh and it's just bizarre now to be able to like consistently or at portions talk to developers. If people have mobile games out there and they watch my stuff and they want me to be aware that hey, like I do this mobile game or I do this thing or whatever, like I'll try and see um, if I find interest in it. It feels like there's some games like lately that like there isn't interest there, or maybe even for me personally, I'm just kind of like, yeah, I just want to kind of do this. Like I kind of just want to do this today, and um, yeah, like ultimately, it's just like it's not me being defiant. It's not me trying to say like I'm holding any content hostage. Like, yeah, I could play this game, but I'm not going to, just because. No, like I feel now that it's just like, well, like there's some times where I need a break from things. I need to break up the monotony. I need to do something different. I think movie reviews being presented to this channel was really me trying to break out and just be like, God, I just want to do something different. I want to do something different. Movie reviews isn't really something different, but it's just like more prominent on the channel than there ever was before. Um, and bizarrely, like people have seen these same movies that I have, or yeah, they've just kind of been um, tying themselves along to the channel, seeing what movies or something that I'm going to be bringing to the table. And sometimes it's kind of like a back and forth thing where people are just like, well, hey, like I came here just for movies, and now he's doing like just mobile games or this or that. It's like, yeah, because I've kind of been using movies as kind of like a breaking of the monotony kind of thing. And some people might leave just because it's like, well, hey, you're not playing my mobile game, this and that. Like, there's just some times where some series or some things that I feel I need to do conflict with whatever people want, which is sad, but it is what it is. Uh, there's some there's some series, like I said numerous times over, that like there's only so much I can do. There's only so many movies I can get to. There's only so many movies that can interest me. There's only so many um, avenues of which I can go about things, and it gets to the point where people are just like, well, just play this just to play this. I'm like, no, I don't want to do that. Like that's not uh like no, like that's not the thing that um like that's just gonna get me to not play it even more, just to put a video out there just for the sake of putting a video out there. I just don't want to do. um yeah, it could give me a lot of views, it could give me a lot of this, it could give me a lot of that, but like, well, maybe people would subscribe more if you just did another video of this just for the sake of doing it. Yeah, that's great and all, but ultimately, I don't want to rip off or feel like I'm ripping off people that are consistently coming to this channel and wanting to see legitimate content where I'm legitimately going through and honestly mentioning to you um, how I'm doing things. Like, I always, like, if I'm going to review a movie, like, I'm going to be honest with you. Like, I'm always going to say, it's like, okay, yeah, I watched this movie, but it was kind of like background noise. I kind of casually watched it. Or if I didn't, just so happen, if I have like a group of movies that I have to review, there would be like, well, hey, this one movie, didn't really watch it all. I kind of heard what was going on, and that's like about as bulk as what my experience with the movie was. I kind of like I had other things going on besides this, and like that's just me always being honest and forthcoming. And yeah, like a lot of people could be like, yeah, man, you're almost close to 600 subscriptions. It's like, well, yeah, but right now we're at 580. Like, I couldn't have like imagined we could have made it to 580. I couldn't have imagined that we could have made it to 500. I couldn't have imagined that we've like seemingly after a certain portion of time. I never assumed that because ultimately I'm just waiting for those breaks to hit. I'm waiting for those breaks to hit. I'm waiting for me to run out of things to showcase. I'm waiting for that time where people lose interest because ultimately, whatever I can figure out for that day of putting out, it isn't as interesting as what it was the X amount of time before. Um, yeah, there's a lot of people that are loyal. There's a lot of people that are just kind of like, yeah, well, yeah, like I don't like some of the stuff that you're doing, but I'm staying here anyways. Just kind of see what the tide will bring or whatever that you want to put on the channel. That's great. That's fine. Thank you. Um, and there might be a lot of people that only might like uh the Masked Singer, or they might like my Batwoman reviews, or they might like and that's it. That's fine. Because in time I'm gonna do other things. Because I'm gonna try to upload every I'm gonna upload videos every day, and that's my goal is to upload something every day. It might not always be 3 videos. It might not always be two, but I'm going to try to at least upload something every day, no matter what the quality is, no matter what it actually is. Maybe it's just me just talking, just to talk, kind of like these videos kind of pretty much are. Because there's nothing current project wise that I have in mind. I think at one time I was going to maybe review the movie Rock and Rolla. That is not going to happen because, good God, is that movie effing boring? I started watching the movie on Vudu, and I'm like, I am not going to watch this. There is no reason for me to watch this movie, and I would not recommend anyone going out of their way to find this movie and start watching it. It's a movie about real estate, and I'm like, wow, exciting. and like it makes it kind of alludes that this movie is going to be like some like gangster film or whatever, and it really isn't. It's a real estate movie, and it's boring. um there were probably other movies that I mentioned that I was going to get to and was going to watch. I think a lot of those to the point of this time are completely going off to the wayside, or I just like I think there was one movie that I was gonna say that I'm going to get to this film and I'm going to review it, and that never happened. And ultimately, I just don't see the point of just like doing a thing just because I said I did it once. Um, I wanted to probably get into and talk to probably Maniac Cop was one of those where I said, yeah, I'm definitely gonna review Maniac Cop and talk about that movie, and that never happened. And I don't think it ever will happen, just because it's just I don't think there's an audience for Maniac Cop out there. Um, ultimately, this and that and whatever have you. Yeah, I think there was like one other movie where said that I was going to review it because I saw half of it, and it was about voiceover work, like people working in voiceover. Um, I think it was called In a World. I said I was going to review that too. I don't think that's going to happen either. Like, I just feel there's some things that it's like I can go out of my way to review, but there's not. Like, I could eventually find an audience for something, but there's some stuff where it's just kind of like doing a video just for the sake of doing a video. Because there's some stuff that is just, yeah, it's problematic that I'm not going to be able to find an audience for something. Even if I'm the only one like reviewing it, there's sometimes where like I review some things and like the view of that like skyrockets just because, oh my god, you're the first one to actually talk about this movie. Like, I maybe thought like back in the day, considering how many times Michael Rosenbaum from Smallville talked about that movie, and no one had really reviewed it. I thought, ooh, well, like, what if I review this movie and then I put a video out there, and surefire enough, like, not really a bunch of people watched it, and like I was thinking, like, oh, hey, here's breaking ground, me finding this movie, being able to watch it, and ooh, yeah, like I think I'm gonna be like on the cutting edge of this, and so like ultimately, I reviewed the movie, put it out there, and there was just nothing. Uh, but like still regardless, I liked that movie, I enjoyed it, and I felt that it was worth a watch. Whether I was going to get 100 views on that video or zero, it was just like, well, I put it out there in the ether. So you guys can at any time check out any of these movie reviews. I think they're just put under, like, a lot of things are just generically put under either, as far as movie reviews go, it's either like Netflix and chill, there's like Netflix show reviews, and then there's like movie reviews. Like, I think whenever I watch a movie on Tubi or Vudu, it usually gets tossed into just like being called movie reviews because I'm ultimately thinking, well, um, there's a movie that's gonna be on Tubi or Vudu for a very limited time. So in my mind, I'm just like, well, how about I just put it under a generic category called movie reviews? Because ultimately, it won't be this movie won't be on Tubi or Vudu forever. It's only for a limited time. Anyways, yeah. But I don't want to make this video too long. Again, there's not much going on in the channel. I'm kind of taking every recording day by the actual day that, like, there's some times where I've had a plan of attack where I'm like, okay, I'm putting these 3 videos out for today. But most of the time I'm flying by the seat of my pants. Just kind of going, hey, how about I finally watch this movie? I've always wanted to see it, so how about I do that today? And surefire enough, I go in, I watch it, and then I just kind of like take the time and stop what I'm doing to just kind of just like, how about I just do this today? Like, again, I'm not trying to schedule anything, I'm not trying to write anything down. I'm just like, why not do this today? Why not do something different? Why not always, like, I honestly don't like going to a schedule. People might like it. Um, People might get frustrated because of like I want to know when the date is of when this is going down. I want to know exactly how long something is going to be. I want to know how the blah 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 blah. Then this channel is not for you. This channel is not for you. It isn't, because I'm just not going to um like, ultimately I can do just individual videos giving updates, but again, I feel like that besides thanking everybody for subscriptions, like, to just do an update video just for the sake of doing one, ultimately a lot of people won't watch that regardless. So if I just like, yeah, I'm gonna do a video, just an update of what's going on the channel, what I am planning or whatever, no one will watch that. They just won't. So yeah, it's just people might be want an update of what I'm doing, how, like, because maybe a lot of times people want to maybe prerequisite about like what movies I'm going to get to, so ultimately they can watch beforehand and feel like they can get a spoiler variation and whatever, and watch the video all the way through. And I'm just like, well, like, ultimately the video is always there. I'm never going to take a video down unless I forcibly feel that I have to, or I ultimately feel like the video is never going to see the light of day. Then I might take it down, or maybe there's some COPPA violation or some kind of YouTube thing that all of a sudden like my video gets removed one day, just because of some kind of controversial thing or new laws that YouTube has. But yeah, again, I'm not trying to say that it's like my way or the highway here. I'm just trying to say that it's like that I'm not planning anything. I'm not planning anything for the channel. I'm just kind of going and saying like, okay, this is the normal way I've been doing things. Hope people like it. If they don't, then it is what it is. Um, People might ask for another series, and I might tell them that it's like, well, I can't go back to that. Some things are just too difficult, or there's some things where it's just like, well, yeah, like I would have to take hours out of my time to just um, kind of work and see and see and see and see, and if I can like win over this level, or I would have to take so much time, just like wasted video, to probably not make progress on something. Just to ultimately kind of waste so much time, waste the viewer's time, just say, yeah, I lost numerous times over, just to showcase a video just so I can get views out of it, which will be horrifyingly stupid to go about doing that because it just feels like a ripoff. But there's been a lot of times where I haven't hugely progressed in games, but I've had something to showcase at a lot of the times. But yeah, every video is what they are, and I am gonna get out of here. So, like, I'm not trying to put my foot down or anything like that. I'm not trying to like change who I am. I'm just saying like I'm kind of like very comfortable now. I'm just kind of like hey, if there's movies people want me to see and they like I'm gonna search them and see if I can watch them on Netflix. Maybe there's a Netflix movie you want me to see. Maybe there's a Tubi movie you want me to see. Maybe there's a Voodoo movie you want me to see. Um, Maybe there's a movie that I've already reviewed that maybe you're not aware that is on the channel. Um, this and that. There might be a series that ultimately people are like, well, where is this series? And I ultimately will tell them it's like, well, I can't do anything with that game. Or there's updates coming. Supposedly, I'm still waiting. It's still a thing. But I just feel like I'm done with the game. Or there's portions of a game where I think I'm just kind of done, and I'm not gonna go back to it. Or there was never really a reason for me to play a certain episode past the first after the first part. Um, like ultimately, like Identity V, like somebody requested that, and ultimately I played it again, but ultimately there wasn't really, I don't know, there wasn't like, besides like the whole storage problem that like was a huge thing, of me just like, well, I feel like if I download this game I can't really play much, I can't really do videos. um so I kind of had to like download the game, and that took forever, just to play one episode, just to uninstall the game, just so I can play more um, videos. And ultimately, if I had a different setup, which I had like tablets or iPads or whatever, um, then if I had an endless resource of just like things to be able to record and do videos and whatever, then like a lot of stuff would change. But right now, the name of the game is just like I'm gonna put this out and hope for the best. And so yeah, so I'm gonna get out of here. Goodbye, everybody. Bye, everybody.